Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I hadn't got much sleep last night. Let me tell you about the fire. Okay. My son always gets up like at 5 a.m. He goes to bed at 8. And I always do his laundry because I don't like anybody using my washing machine. So I am putting in his second load of clothes. I go and I lay down in my bed because the laundry room is right next to my bed. Okay, bedroom, I should say. So when I first moved into this house, I took care of the most crucial things first. I asked my son to put up motion lights on the side of my house and behind my house. So, and there's a lot of feral cats in my neighborhood. So when the cats go by the camera or by the motion light, it will come on until like so many seconds and then it goes off. Well, last night it was flashing like big flashes, and I immediately said, this is not normal. And I looked out to the side of my house window and I saw a huge ball of fire. Now, here's the rest of the story. My first job at 16 was working for Fairfax County Fire and Rescue. So I knew the protocol. You call 911. But first, you get the occupants out of the house. Okay, so I was doing two things at once. My son is sleeping upstairs, and I ran upstairs. Remember, I've had 2 hip replacements. I can still run. I ran upstairs screaming his name, and it was a blood-curdling scream. KJ, get out of the house. So imagine it, blood-curdling scream. He knew, because I'm his mom, that this was extreme danger. Teach your children that. He looked out and he saw it. And he did not run. I swear he flew down the stairs, went to the neighbor's house. And this is a neighbor that I have knocked on their front door before and they don't answer, even though they were all home. I don't know what the reason was. Maybe they were taking a nap. I don't know. But I knew that they were going to be extremely difficult to arouse because it's 11 o'clock at night. Actually, it's 10 till. So I'm on the phone with 911, trying to give them a location. My son is pounding on their front door glass. They was not waking up. I should say they were not waking up, right? He finally punches it one last time, breaks the glass, and his voice was then able to carry through the house. There's 2 adult females and a cute little girl named Carter. He cut his hand, and I was on 911 call, and I always used to never could understand why people were screaming, talking to the 911 operator, because I always said, no, that's not something I'm going to do. I'm going to remain calm, give them the address. Well, honey, until you've been in my shoes or in a situation like this, all that goes out the door, because I was the crazy one screaming the address. I said, bring lots of fire trucks. I think 4 or 5 showed up. And this has been my concern this whole time on the street, because there are abandoned vehicles on each side of the road going different directions. And I've tried to get the police to tow them. They've been broken down and abandoned for 4 years, right? Because I said to them, a fire truck and an ambulance could not come up the street at all because of that. But that's another problem. Okay. So the occupants fled, and they thought their animals had followed out. They had a little elderly dog, a cat, and then a big dog. I knew about the big dog. Well, the fire trucks were here almost immediately. I don't know where the nearest fire station was, but they were here within, I'm saying, 3 minutes. Well, this is the thing. I'm now suffering from smoke inhalation. My son is screaming something and I couldn't understand. So I just did what I thought was smart. I went and turned on the water, went around to the side of the house, because my side of the house was getting ready to be engulfed in flames. The flames were like licking their fence, which is only 3 foot from my house. I knew their car was going to explode. You'll see pictures at the end of this. Okay. So I went and got water hose, because I remember from the wildfires in California that some people who saturated the exterior of their house with water was able to save their house. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to wet down the fence, wet down the side of my house. And I did. I started, and then all of a sudden I'm going, this car's going to explode and I'm going to get scrap metal thrown at me because I am that close. So I said, I give up on that. So I think 4 fire trucks, a command center. I think there was at least 20 firemen at least. And they arrested the fire. And then I am now watching 2 firemen give CPR to the elderly dog and the cat, and they did not make it. Another person who was known to the family there, she had to be taken to the hospital. So the thing of it is, my son saved their lives, because if you see the video of the inside their house, you'll see that he did save their life. They would not have made it if he hadn't have done that. Now, he rejected the medics' help on his hand. I doctored it up before I went to sleep. But this was extremely terrifying. And I'm thinking, thank God I had just paid my homeowners and my car insurance. They now can, that house has to be torn down. It's not salvageable. But I learned something. Should I have come into my house and turned off the breaker box, turned off all the electricity? I don't know. I was, wetting down the side of my house, but I thought I was in more danger of the car exploding. Yeah, the car is completely gutted. It's nothing there. So I actually let them come into my house to use the restroom. I gave them water and I gave them some N95 masks. Now, I am very sick from the smoke inhalation because I was out there doing what I could. And it took them, a little while to put out the fire because it had engulfed their porch, their car, and their kitchen. So my son did tell me that they have the old original wiring. Now I've seen this wiring because my parents bought an old house. It's where the cloth is around the wires, the old-fashioned wiring. He said that may have been a contributing cause with these very old houses. Now my wiring has been redone, upgraded, I should say. But these houses are 130 years old. My son said that if I had had not aluminum siding, but the plastic siding, I forget what it's called, my house would have melted on one side. It was that hot, a hot fire. And thank goodness I have a wood-sided house, because the lady came this morning to thank my son, and she said that even the plastic blinds upstairs had melted. So people, this is what I'm trying to tell you, is keep all your important papers in one location and your valuables all together, so you can just lift it up and leave the premises. And my neighbor said she just put up a brand new smoke detector. She said it never went off. I don't know. It never went off. And a carbon monoxide detector. Now, I have both, but I've never tested them. But I think tonight I should. So this is a good time, people. Test your alarms. My son was so shaken up because he's a very sensitive guy. We had to calm him down. I don't think, because I have knocked on their front door before and they just didn't answer. He was pounding, I know, for a couple of minutes as hard as he could. But they got out safe, but not the animals. They thought their animals had followed them out. But if you've got like an inside cat, they don't know to go out if they've never been out. You see what I'm saying? So it was very terrifying, and I am having a hard time breathing because I got smoke inhalation. Yeah, okay. Thanks for listening. Oh, my son was interviewed with the news. He did a very good interview. But if it hadn't been for that motion light, and it hadn't been for me being up at 11 o'clock at night doing his laundry, I would have never noticed that orange ball of flame. I would have never noticed it. Bye.
Well, my mom stayed up late. She was doing laundry. That's what time to do it. I was upstairs asleep, and I heard my mom scream my name, AJ, and I looked through the top window and I could see the side of the house. It was the flames were shooting out like 30 feet. I had no shoes on, anything, and I took off running through the gravel, and I went to the neighbor's house, and I don't think sometimes they answer the door, and I started banging on the door, and I kept saying, get out, get out. So I punched it one last time. My hand went through the glass. When my hand went through the glass, I yelled, and then the lady said, Carter, Carter. She finally heard me when I broke the glass, and she came down and got her daughter, and then was all running out the house. Okay? Well, they don't sound fine, but if my mom wasn't up, I think that we were dead. And I think it's just going along and around and scared and stuff because you don't know what to do in a situation like that. Maybe it's big, so you don't want your house to set on fire. You try to do everything you can do. And it's still on fire there.
Well, you're quick work. Are you okay? How's your hand? How's your hand?
I'm fine. I'm a construction guy. My hand's bad anyway.
How about you? Come on in.
Yeah.
KJ said, I know that they're in shock. Did they realize KJ?
I told them, because they'd still be asleep. Okay.